What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from The Quartering, and an interesting stand-up show at Berkeley, California for Bill Burr, in which he went into maybe the wokest city, the wokest university on the planet, and called everyone hypocrites to their face. Now, we could point out Bill Burr isn't exactly ideologically consistent all the time either, but we could also sit back and enjoy him enraging some liberals at UC Berkeley who have been LARPing as revolutionaries for the past, I don't know, several months. And so I think we're going to just take that approach to it because I think it's funny to me. It's funny. The whole thing is funny to me. Hypocrisy is always funny to me. And so let's discuss that because, what else would we do? I effing hate liberals, Bill Burr says at UC Berkeley show. Comedian Bill Burr's strategy of bashing liberals may seem like a poor choice on the set of UC Berkeley's campus, but judging by the sellout crowd's reaction at the Berkeley Greek Theater on Saturday, there's a market for what Bill Burr is selling, even in the most widely mocked safe space in the nation. Despite the location, Bill Burr steered directly into the cancelable topics from the jump street. Among things, he joked about verbally being mean to his wife, what's going on over in Gaza, trans rights, and, well, other stuff. But unlike his pal Dave Chappelle, Burr didn't seem to be picking a fight with the audience or trying to win some grand crusade against cancel culture. His jokes that towed the line generally served the purpose that weren't made to provoke the crowd. At the same time, Burr made it clear that he refused to censor his act in any way, even if he's already included punching down at marginalized people. Look, I think that people are less inclined to get mad at Bill Burr for the simple reason that the left still knows that he's quote unquote one of them. That's my opinion at the end of the day. But maybe not. By the way, Father's Day is coming up. Wednesday is the last day that you can order. I would get them today because Wednesday morning we're going to turn them off. We always sell out at Coffee Brand Coffee, my coffee company, of our Father's Day, Mother's Day gift boxes. Our Father's Day gift boxes on sale, promo code DAD, come with a bag of our delicious medium roast coffee, a Camper vacuum mug, Toffee brand toffee with almonds, and our velvety hot cocoa. Or you can use our awesome gift box builder to pick whatever flavored or unflavored coffee Dad might like. K-cups, cocos, candies, whatever you want to make, you can build the box your own way, get it shipped out. Make sure you put your order in today because tomorrow the cutoff is, and we're close to selling out anyway. Promo code DAD to save. CoffeeBrandCoffee.com, link in the description. Now, Burr's fiercest criticism was reserved for the one group that was surely overrepresented in the Bay Area show. I effing hate liberals, Bill Burr said plainly. However, he was clear his issue with liberals, specifically white liberals, was the hypocrisy rather than their political stances. Now, I'll point this out. Bill Burr, has been one of those guys that has been kind of revered, as kind of an anti-cancel culture guy, a no-nonsense guy. He's still basically doing the white people, am I right, shtick. And so the left allows it. It's a weird fetish of a lot of people on the left, hating themselves, hating other white people. So as long as Bill Burr is saying specifically white liberals, as if black liberals aren't hypocritical at all either, it's allowed. So he's still towing the line here. But he's an example of white people putting Black Lives Matter signs in their window, but not doing the actual work to dismantle white supremacy. Exactly what work is he expecting? That's like if I told you my great-grandmother in Germany had a knock it off Nazi sign, he said. Bill Burr's attack on the white liberal continued. If you run into a white person who says they're an empath, run the other way. He warned the crowd, explaining that these dudes, white, self-described empaths, are the type of people who like making other people suffering about themselves. He also pointed out how quick the Berkeley crowd was to laugh at one of his jokes about Joe Biden having dementia. He's not a particularly politically correct response. Well, that's because the woke left hates Joe Biden because of his support of Israel. I mean, did you not know that, San Francisco Gate? While he teased the Berkeley crowd, the show was far from antagonistic. The audience thunderous applause when Bill Burr mentioned he'd been taking psychedelic mushrooms seemed to catch the comic off guard. Geez, you guys are so supportive. He also gained points with the Bay Area audience while referencing a couple of common enemies. I hate the term tech bro. They aren't bros, they're nerds. They're way more dangerous, he said to the raucous applause. He further endeared himself to the crowd by noting only a socially inept nerd would want to replace the majority of the country's workforce with AI. But his harshest critique were reserved for a heckler in a Lakers jersey, the perfect villain for the Warriors supporting Bay Area crowd, for good reason. The bitingly mean comic is rarely seen these days outside of roasts. And for most of the night, Burr's tone was more teasing than cruel, but honed his craft against an antagonist of comedy club crowds. Oh, the Celtics suck, do they? Burr said of his team currently up 2-0 in the NBA Finals, getting yelled at by the Lakers fan in the first row. As the boos rained down, Burr zeroed in on the overmatched heckler. In the lightning fast succession, Burr took him at the man's fashion choices, hairline, physique, ending up with one of the harshest lines you could expect in a public setting. You're one of these people I see that makes me not believe in a loving God, Bill Burr said, referencing the man's physical appearance. I think that the idea that maybe you came into this video thinking, oh yeah, Bill Burr is one of us. He really isn't. He really isn't. I think calling out hypocrisy is one thing, and that's fair. But what exactly does he? So he believes that supremacy exists. I don't really know. I think that going into UC Berkeley and making fun of white people to a crowd full of white people is actually a pretty safe thing to do. You see, liberals are so effing stupid. Look at the way they handle Trump, he said at the time. You should shut up. He's a narcissist. Neutral energy. Neutral. Burr, who predicted Trump and Biden would be nominated by the respective parties, said that he hoped they would both pass away of natural causes so that maybe somebody good who still had something to live for. In September, Burr remarked on his Monday morning podcast, I don't really like liberals. Liberals like to announce, these are my gays. It's like, these are your friends? Do you know anything about them? Burr agreed that liberals like to use certain groups as props. Pride Month is more about straight people to show how many gay friends they have than about gay people, he said in September. I think I could have went one way with this video where I said, oh, how Austin-based Bill Burr is. And, some of the things he says is, again, here he says to Jimmy Kimmel, I believe.
Want to see a great case thing on narcissism. Liberals are so stupid the way that they handle Trump.
What do you mean?
You should shut up. He's a narcissist. Neutral energy.
Yeah. You think he'd go away?
You know what I think he was? I think he was a one-hit wonder. Right? He wrote The Twist. And then that was it. He was on the casino circuit, and then you idiot liberals wrote him Twist again when you indicted him. And now he's a martyr.
And now he's
coming back, Jimmy.
The peppermint twist is back.
Coming back. It's going to be great for comedy. He's coming.
I mean, he's not wrong there, right? Like, they're the ones that turned him, they're the ones that turned him into what he is. The Jon Stewarts, the Jimmy Kimmels, all these other late night hacks. I think, ultimately when he talks about liberals, he's not wrong. He's not wrong. So is Bill Burr #our guy? No, he's not. He's still, a woke elitist whose wife is a super woke weirdo who has Trump derangement syndrome. That doesn't necessarily disprove the things that Bill Burr says. He's still right, and it's still good when he makes fun of them. I think anyway. And he's got a long history of kind of calling out people on the left.
If you want to see a great.
Oh, yeah. So they talk about Trump. They turn him into a martyr. I thought I had another clip here. He also talked about cancel culture being over. Bill Maher suggests that Louis C.K. return as it's been long enough. Bill Burr does great when he, mocks garbage libs like Bill Maher, things of that nature. He refers to cancel culture as being over, which it isn't, but it definitely is weakened. I think the thing is, Bill Burr says no, there's no such thing as cancel culture, but he starred on a show with Gina Carano. So does Bill Burr not think Gina Carano's firing was cancel culture? I mean, I would suspect that he's just conveniently forgetting that one. Bill Burr doesn't get canceled because he's still very safe in terms of calling out leftists, but that doesn't make what he's saying untrue, and it doesn't make what he's saying unfunny. I do think when you go to a Berkeley crowd, you pretty much know what you're going to get. And if you basically go up there with the equivalent of like, white people, am I right? That's woke comedy. That's comedy for woke people. That's why the UC Berkeley people didn't run him off. It's because he's like, white people bad, am I right? And then, of course, they agree with that. But it doesn't change what he's saying, and I do think it's pretty funny that he stuck it to him a little bit. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you leave a like on it. If you haven't yet, please subscribe or follow down below, and we'll talk to you again real soon.